Hey you guys, this is Juanito Spider-Man back at you with another figure review from the Guardians of the Galaxy Marvel Infinite Series exclusive package that we reviewed earlier from the Star-Lord, who was the first figure out of the package. And this guy right here is the second figure out of the package, and it's Drax the Destroyer, and I gotta say, this guy is pretty awesome. He's got tons of articulation, he's got pretty good paint work, pretty good amount of accessories that came with him, and this guy's pretty much he's really fun to pose for me. I really like playing with this guy. This guy's pretty badass. So let's take a closer look right here. All right, and this is the closer look for Drax for the Guardians of the Galaxy. And one thing I really like right off the bat is the paint they decided to go with this guy. It's a really good green flesh tone that they got going here. And the tattoo color, which is like a darker red, you may not be able to check it out. It looks a little more bright on my camera. It makes a really good contrast between the skin and his tattoos. I think it's really cool. The sculpting is really good on this guy. I believe the head sculpt there, that's pretty cool. The guy's there. It's a little dark there, sorry. There we go. But they have really good detail for his eyes, and we've got a little bit of yellow going in around there, with also some red underneath the eyes. It's really cool, kind of hard to see. But it really pops. It's really cool. I really dig that. So I think that's a recycled Luke Cage head mold. And I want to say the legs, which also have a ton of sculpting there, sculpting detail. I mean, look at that. It's totally awesome. You got lots of lines, lots of texture on there that we got going on, which is kind of really old school Marvel Legends from Toy Biz, which is stuff that, I love to see. It's totally awesome. Ooh, my phone's vibrating over there. But here you can see some knives sticking out of his shins here, his calves. We'll get into that later. But really awesome sculpt of this guy. He got some hands, got some claw hands, some metal hands. I don't know when he got those in the comic, but still pretty awesome. And some pretty cool gauntlets we got going on there. It's a really cool dude. Really awesome sculpt, really awesome paint job. And he came with some fun accessories here. Really look at those back muscles. Man, look at this guy. Do you even lift, bro? We'll get into the articulation now. Right here we got basic head. Rotates, and it looks pretty far up. And he looks down. You can barely look over his big old barrel chest of his. His arms go up that far. Perfect, horizontal angle. And they don't go down too far. They kind of stuck at an angle there. His lats there, he kind of lifts too much. But do have bicep swivel there. We have double jointed elbows that go past 90 degrees, which is pretty solid for a guy of his build. And he's got that wrist rotation, and he does have that wrist swivel there. It's kind of tough to go down, but he does go pretty far up. All right, and we have that ab crunch. Awesome look. Down somewhat, and then we goes back, got a big click, and go back again. There we go. Backbreaker. Got that waist articulation, and then we got legs that go up about 90 degrees there, and they don't go too far back. About there, kind of Sasquatch walking. Got that thigh swivel and those double jointed knees that go up pretty far. We don't have any calf rotation here, got nothing there, but we do have that ankle swivel and that awesome ass ankle pivot. This guy does come loaded with a good amount of accessories compared to the other guys in this pack. He does come with two sets of knives, two of the knives which you can fit into his boot sheaths right here. His boot sheath right there, and you got some knife slippage action right there, if I can get it. There we go. Yeah, and those fit in pretty well. So I do like those. I do like that feature. And like I said, he does come with two sets of knives. He's got two big-ass, fat, head slicing knives right here. These are pretty cool. I like how sturdy they are. It doesn't feel like they're going to, they don't have too much give to them. And I'm pulling on this guy pretty hard. So these don't bend too much, and I like how sturdy these feel. They don't fit into his other hands too well. These kind of tend to go into the machine hands, the gray hands that we got going on here. And only one of them is really for a grip, as you can see there. This one's kind of like a creepy guy, like I'm waiting for you, I'm gonna get you kind of hand, like hey, come back. But let me see here, see if I can get this guy. These are kind of hard. Oh, well, that one went pretty well. And then you gotta turn it right there. So he holds that knife pretty well. He does hold the other one as well. You got to use more of like the wedge that we got going on here. And you kind of got to clip it like that and turn it sideways weird. And it works, but it kind of looks, he's kind of got like this whole hand motion going on where it's not really gripping that knife. So those work out for those. I'll switch out the hands first here. I'll pull this guy out. And these hands do have some pretty good detail in them. I like the sculpt they went with them. Pretty detailed. You know, you can tell it's kind of like a mech hand. It's pretty cool. And then he does come with the wrist gauntlets. He does have some good molding on the black underside. You can't see it there. And on the top, he does have some paint. Got some gray with some black lines and some simple yellow, kind of like a yellow arc reactor going on. And he does have green. There we go, grippy hands there. And I do tend to like these hands better. It's just the normal Drax, you know. I don't know. I feel like it fits better, but those ones also work for a good clash between the green and the silver that we got going on. These hands here tend to work well with the other knives. As you can tell, these knives, first of all, you can tell these knives are totally dope. A lot of really good sculpting on there. You can tell some good airbrush and paint going on. You can really tell it's a war knife. I think these are the knives that came with Marvel Legends movie Drax as well. So they just kind of recycled and plopped them in here. And they're really cool. The one thing I don't like is the type of plastic chosen for these. I feel like these are going to give under any sort of weight. And I'm not putting too much stress on these guys. I do kind of get worried when I put them into his boot sheaths because I feel like after time they're going to warp in there and they're just going to stay permanently bent. So I kind of tend to, not force them in there, but you know what I mean. As I was saying, these hands tend to work well with these knives here. Let me see if I put it in the right way. And let me get some of this guy going on. There we go. And those work pretty well right there. Bammo. And it looks pretty cool. You can't really use the other knives for each of the other hands, unfortunately. If you use these knives in that hand, they're going to fall through. And if you use these knives in this hand, you're going to kind of screw up the hand. It's a pretty tight grip he's got going on there compared to this guy, wider grip. So, like I said, he does come with 2 sets for each. So he's got another green grippy hand, and he does have that other silver hand going on there. Pretty cool dude. And Drax measures in at about just over 6.5 inches tall. And for figure comparison, I got Drax here next to the Guardians of the Galaxy Star-Lord that I reviewed earlier. And they fit pretty well in scale. Pretty awesome. Pretty dope. Can't wait to put the other guys together. For another figure comparison, I got Drax here next to Man Without Fear, good old Daredevil. If you haven't read Mark Waid's run on Daredevil, you should definitely check it out. Totally badass. You won't regret it. And you should definitely check out the Netflix series if you haven't either. Totally cool. And overall, I really like the amount of articulation and detail they gave us with this guy. Of course, with all the accessories and the paints and the good sculpting. One thing I didn't touch on his legs. Look at the amount of detail he's got in his legs. He's got those bootstraps. He's got, the sheaths. He's got that little red on there. The silver. Of course, these are from the movie Drax, but I mean, I think it fits really well. I think it's really dope. Good, awesome comic Drax. It's totally badass. I really, really, really like this guy. All right, you guys. I hope you liked my review. I hope you come back for more. Still got Groot. Still got Rocket. Still got Gamora coming up here from the Guardians exclusive pack. Stay tuned for more Juanito Spider-Man. Like my videos. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and hope to see you guys soon. Take it easy.